Hello, dear children and their families. Last time we told how Yosef, even though he did nothing wrong, was taken and put into prison. He stood there alone in a dark place with thick walls, not knowing what would happen next. Now lay your head on your pillow, take a slow breath, and let's continue the story together. Yosef is now in prison. It is cold, quiet, and he knows no one there. But Yosef stays kind, he stays honest, he helps wherever he can. The man in charge of the prison watches him and says to himself, "This young man is very special. I can trust him." So Yosef receives small jobs and then bigger jobs, and soon he helps keep the whole prison calm and organized. One day, two important prisoners came in, the cupbearer of Paro and the baker of Paro. The cupbearer is the man who brings the drinks to the king and tastes them to make sure they are safe. And the baker is the one who bakes bread, cakes, and pastries for the king. Both men look very sad. They tell Yosef that they each had a strange dream in the night and they don't know what the dreams mean. Yosef says gently, "Maybe you want to tell me your dreams. Maybe with Hashem's help, I can help you understand them." So the cupbearer starts to tell his dream. He says, "In my dream, I saw a vine with 3 branches. The branches grew grapes, and I squeezed the grapes into a cup and gave the cup to Pharaoh." Joseph smiles and explains, "The 3 branches means 3 days. That means in 3 days you will leave the prison. You will get your old job back and serve the king his drinks again." The cupbearer is relieved and happy. And then it was the baker's turn to tell his dream. He said to Joseph, "I was carrying 3 baskets of bread on my head, and the top basket was food for Pharaoh. But the birds came and ate the food." Joseph explains quietly but honestly, "The 3 baskets also mean 3 days, but you sorrowfully will not return to your job in 3 days." It is a painful message, but Yosef always tells the truth. And after 3 days, everything happens exactly as Yosef said. But before the cupbearer is freed, Yosef says to him, "Please remember me. I did nothing wrong. Maybe you can speak to the king for me." The cupbearer agrees, but once he leaves the prison and returns to the palace, he forgets Yosef completely. But you know what, dear children and parents? Hashem does not forget anyone. And now the Torah pauses, interestingly, Yosef's story and tells something small but important about Yehuda. Yehuda was the brother of Yosef. So Yehuda promises something but does not keep his promise. And his daughter-in-law, Tamar, understands that Yehuda is not doing the right thing. So she makes a smart plan so that Yehuda will see the truth. And when Yehuda understands what happened, he says, "She was right and I was wrong." And this, dear family, is real greatness. Being able to admit, "I made a mistake." And for this behavior of Yehuda, Hashem made his family very special because many generations later, King David was born from this family. Alright, let's return back to Joseph. He is still in prison, poor him. The days pass, the cupbearer has forgotten him. Nothing seems to move. But, as we said, Hashem has not forgotten Joseph. Hashem is already preparing something very big, something Yosef cannot even imagine yet. Soon Pharaoh himself will have a dream, and then someone will finally say, I know a young man who can explain dreams. His name is Yosef. But that part, dear children and parents, comes next week. That was it for tonight. Lay your head on your pillow, close your eyes gently, and remember, even when life feels slow and dark, Hashem sees you. Hashem remembers you. Always. Good night, dear children. Good night, dear families.